Yo, what's good, y'all? Blue Flames the Poet here. Um, I owe y'all a vlog from yesterday. I was busy yesterday, so I owe y'all a vlog from yesterday, and I got y'all for the vlog that I got for today. I'm gonna combine the two together because I think both of them have a connection in a way as to what topics I'm gonna talk about. I don't want to make this video too long, but I definitely want to get into this. So, um, now this topic that I'm gonna get into is something that we hear about, that we look up online and we watch the news about on a daily basis. First 48. I'm not just talking about a TV show or some song that was made about that. Although it's very true because stuff like that really does happen. First 48 meaning like 48 hours, 2 days. Information got to be given to the people as to what's going on, like who got kidnapped, who got killed, whatever the situation may be. 48 hours meaning 2 days. If it's going to take longer than that, then that's because the story is going to keep piling and piling and piling on top of it. And we all know, like I said, with TV, with movies, with music, anytime it gets mentioned, it's like, well, yeah, we pretty much got the gist of that because we hear about that all the time, and it's nothing new, right? Because we're so used to hearing stuff like that these days. Well, it's been like that for years. We're so used to that, it's nothing new. But the news that get out, it's like there are times it's unexpected. There are times that it's unexpected, and what's expected out of the situation is for the the um, the incidents to be figured out. That's what's expected out of it. There are times when situations like this are unexpected, especially if it's caused by someone or it's caused by someone who attacked that person, especially when it comes down to that. If it's going to take place in your neighborhood or far away from your neighborhood, no matter what city you in, no matter what country you in, there's always going to be those moments where it's like, well, the news is definitely going to pick this up. That story is going to keep piling and piling until there's nothing left out of it. That's what we have now. That's how it's been for quite some time. So when we hear about it, it's like, well, it's nothing new. But then something new tend to pop up on the scene, even with the stuff that we're familiar with. So it's like, at the end of the day, for those of us who still trying to live through this, trying to see the positives out of this, even when it's difficult to even try to think along the lines of that, we're trying to live our life the best we could. And with all the craziness that goes on in this world, it's like we start to wonder, when is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? It just keeps getting worse. It just keeps getting worse because not only it's just one-on-one, it could be a group on one, or a group against a group, or a riot against another group of people. And due to the recent events that took place, including our president right now, because we can't trust we can't trust anything that dude says. After the events that took place involving him, y'all know what that's about because that's recent right now. Y'all know what that's about already. And it's disappointing to know that this is where it's come to. For us as a country, for us as United Nations and everything. This is a very difficult time that we're going through right now. As if it wasn't bad before. Nah. It just gets even worse by the day. And the best thing we can do is just keep pushing and live our lives. And try to focus on what's good for us, what's good for the people around us, what's good for everything that we're trying to do. Because we're trying to make the best of what we got. That's it. That's all I gotta say on that matter. That's all we all can say on that matter. It's about, just to keep on living and to keep striving for what we want in life. But we gotta be in the right mindset instead of letting situations like this get the better of us. Incidents like this, problems like this to get the better of us. Because for those of us who know better than that, common sense, people. Common sense. Better recognize what you're surrounded by. Otherwise, if you get caught in the crossfire of it all, you're a part of it. You're a part of the problem. And I damn for sure know that I ain't trying to be a part of that. I'm just trying to reach out to all of y'all who can understand that. Okay? That's it. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to reach out to everybody who understands me. Where I'm coming from with this. Because like I said, this sounds like old news, but then something new always tend to pop up during all of that. It's just one problem on top of the other, and no matter what happens, it just keeps getting worse. Just when you thought one gets cut down, two more pop up. And it just keeps multiplying by the numbers, man. It keeps multiplying, and it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until something is able to wipe it all out entirely to the point where, okay, we finally got a solution that works. Until that happens, and I'm not talking about like wars, like warfare or stuff like that. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about problems to be solved with words and with action that actually means something to every community, every country, every city out there. Contribution to make something good out of the bad that's been going on so far. Trying to make the light of the situation so it's not feeling like this is the end of days. We're going through the dark times right now. Because if it's going to lead to that point, then we are on the brink of destruction, y'all. But before I end up having that mindset, that ain't gonna be like that for me. Okay? I'm always gonna stay positive about these things. That's all I'm trying to do, y'all. And I'm praying that y'all do the same thing as well. Okay? Verse 48, sometimes it'll take even more than 2 days to try to figure out situations that happen out here. Kidnappings, killings, whatever the case may be. It never fails. There's always something. Always one thing after the other. It's old news, but new things tend to pop up within that. And transitioning into the attacks that happens. All these terrorism attacks, all these so-called terrorism attacks that's going on. The Manchester incident, the London incident, and now I'm just finding out Barcelona. I'm like, what the hell is going on with these attacks all of a sudden? And say what you will on Ariana Grande, okay? I'm not gonna lie, she has done some sketchy things that make me question who she is as a person, but I'm not gonna jump the gun on her, because when I'm talking about attacks, I'm talking about bombings, because I'm talking about the incident when she was trying to do a concert and people were getting caught in the crossfire, or at least they were the target during that concert. And that was a horrible situation right there. That was a horrible situation because that's messed up on the people who even thought about doing that in the first place. Who gave them the idea to even do such a thing like that? As if that wasn't enough. Now these attacks are just spreading wherever it may be. And it's tragic. It's tragic of what this world is going through right now. It's tragic. And I feel bad for the people who got to get caught up in that, who got to get caught in the crossfire of all of that. I feel bad for that because I hate for situations like this to happen the way they do. And it's very difficult to even think that anybody would pull off some crap like that. I can't, man. It's very difficult to even think anything like that can happen. The only thing I could do right now is pray and hope for the best, hope for better things to come out of all of this, that there's room to grow, because of course there's going to be room to grow, there's room to improve on whatever it is. Whether race has anything to do with it, whether rules of different countries have anything to do with this, whether it's leader of the free world that has something to do with it, whether it has something to do with neighborhoods who's going through tough times, anything that has something to do with crime against people, crime against communities, crime against countries, crime against everything. Disasters. They just pop up all over the place, and no matter what happens, just when we think that the situation is solved, something else gotta pop up after that. And I can't stand the thought of that happening. I can't stand the thought of that happening. Like I said, you could take out one, but then two start popping up. 4, 6, 8, and it just keeps multiplying. But for us, what I want for us as a community of people who are trying to speak their minds on these matters, just like myself, whether you're a poet, whether you're a music artist, whether, whatever branch of the industry you're in, even if you're not in the industry, you're still trying to make a difference for what's going on out here. It's all I want for us. All I want for us to do is just think of better solutions to come out of this thing, so that it doesn't have to lead to wars, not just physical ones, but cyber. Cyberbullying, cyber attacks. Not just the physical, but I'm talking also, when it comes to social media, when it comes to the internet. I'm speaking for all of us who really wants to say something on these matters, make a difference in this world, that it's not just our words, it's our actions that actually speaks to what these problems are and what we can do to fix it the way it should be fixed, that we can come together and we can come up with a solution that's better than what's happening right now. Something. We got to do something. I just hope for that one day that will happen. I hope for that one day it'll happen, man. See, this is why I'm the kind of person that I feel like strategy is the best bet. And before you try to jump the gun to do anything, only for you to mess yourself up, and you're putting yourself out there like you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're doing. And then people trying to point the finger at you for all of that. All because you didn't get your facts straight. You didn't get your information right. You didn't gather everything that you needed to gather up in order for you to say what you got to say. Everything based on what I'm talking about right now is research and the knowledge to be able to say something on these matters that really packs a punch, that really makes an impact, that brings a positive effect to these things. That's all I want for us, for all of us as people who really has their mindset on doing exactly what I'm talking about right now. I just want for all of us to be able to say, we got to come up with something better than what's happening right now. We need to come up with a plan that speaks on all these matters. And we can make some change with things. Some. Because it's not going to happen overnight. It ain't going to happen overnight. That's not going to happen. It's going to take time. And time is everything. Time is essential. It's a matter of being able to use it wisely. Like I said, strategy. Instead of just going in head first, instead of just going in with brawn until you end up losing the fight. I mean, win or lose, there's got to be a way to figure out the situation. Because, yeah, you get knocked down, but of course you got to get back up and do something about it. Live to fight another day. It doesn't have to be a physical thing all the time. It doesn't have to be a physical thing. I guess what I'm trying to say is find a balance between that. Find the balance. Find the gray area. Don't think of everything to be black and white. Try to find the gray area of this whole thing. Now, for all of y'all watching this video, be sure to leave a like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Click the bell for any videos that I post up on my channel. Click that bell, get notified on everything. And be sure to leave your comments down below. What do you think of all of this? What do you think of all the news that's getting out right now? How do you feel about it? How do you feel? That's what I want to know. Leave your comments in the comment section down below. Let me know how you feel about this whole thing. I already gave you my thoughts on it. I just want for us to find the gray area in all of this chaos that's going on. That's it. That's all I could ever ask for out of this whole thing. That's all we could ever ask for out of this whole thing. But let me know, y'all. Let me know. Let me know what's happening. Let me know your thought process on this whole thing. Alright? And I mean that. Leave those comments down there. Let me know what's happening. I mean, this is a topic of conversation for real. But like, subscribe, share this, let people know. And be sure to check me out on all the social media in the description box. This is Blue Flames the Poet. I'm out, y'all.